Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lefty Groveland Cards and the Card Show with me, Jeremy, and my good friend Jason. How you doing, Jason?
Very good, man.
Good, good. Sorry, we're hopping on a little late. I had a meeting that ran over. You ever get in those meetings where people just keep asking questions and you're just like, come on, man. That's what I was in.
Yes, sir. All right. So, uh, what's up?
I
Like, like any new purchases or anything else on your
you
radars or
you
what?
you know I made a purchase or two. It wasn't the one I was like going after at the beginning of or the end of last week. I think talking to you and thinking it through, I changed my mind. I was really focused on a 77 Mexican, Tops Mexican Steve Largent, and it ended up selling for like $1,033, I think, was the hammer price, which might not be bad, but for $1,033, I can get the Walter Payton and Joe Montana that I need, and those are iconic cards.
Uh,
And we talk about that a lot. At least you and I talk about it a lot, like the difference between iconic and rare, like what's better. And in this case, I don't think the rarity of that Largent was enough for me to go that high with it. I liked it at a certain price. $500, yeah, I probably would like it, but it's Steve Largent. He's not the GOAT. He's a Hall of Famer. There's not taking that away from him, but when you think, I mean, you know this, you talk wide receivers, Largent's name never comes up. Art Monk's name never comes up. It's Jerry Rice, it's Don Hudson, it's Lance Allworth, Randy Moss, um, and recently Larry Fitzgerald, but that's because he's just getting in the Hall of Fame. But it's really
yeah,
Moss, Rice, Allworth, Hudson. In my opinion, there might be one or two others, but yeah. So anyway, instead of that, I went a different route and I picked up a 55 tops All American Jim Thorpe, a really well centered PSA 3. And then I picked up a 96 tops chrome refractor of Dan Marino. That was a total impulse buy. Like, it was on my watch list and the auction was ending, and I had no intention of being in on that one. Saturday morning, Saturday night, I ended up buying it. So the hammer price was kind of under comp. So I'm not like mad that I pivoted that way, but as you're finding out, I tend to pivot a lot.
yeah. And honestly, I'm probably the complete opposite. When I lock in on a sport, like I got the blinders up and I'm just knocking them out. And hindsight, whenever you do that, you're highly productive, but I'm sure there's other cards I want that, and you know, but everybody does it like their own way. I think you made the smarter choice. Like you said, Steve Largent, I mean, obviously a really, really good player. The uh, 1977, the Mexican set is very niche. Um, so, I mean, if he was your guy, I would say go all in. But if you aren't a Seattle guy or a Steve Largent guy, spending $1,000, I think you could, you know what I mean? Um, yeah. So you probably,
Yeah, I know I made the right decision because I woke up this morning. or yesterday. No, it was this morning because it ended last night. I woke up this morning and didn't have any regrets at all. Like, I wasn't like, God dang, I wish I would have gone, 1100 or whatever. I didn't have any of that. I was cool with it. So
Okay, good.
that was good. Um, thanks for the emotional support. So
We
what
all,
about you? What have you been eyeing?
yeah, I think all of us have one or two people that were like, should I buy it? Should I buy it? Let me verify it with somebody else quick. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, You know, re, you know,
So you got your eye on anything?
honestly, I'm still kind of in a limbo of happy with everything, want to try to buy some stuff, but not sure exactly which way to go. I've been actually doing a lot of window shopping, majority 90s football. There's really cool cards, but how I'm set up is if I buy something, it has to go in here. Something has to come out, and when you do that, it kind of keeps you in check. You know what I like everything that's in there, so makes it kind of hard. So I have to be like really, uh, really sure what I want. So what's up, though?
Yeah, I need some of that discipline that you have because I usually am disciplined, but I get in these phases where my mind just trips out on me, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is awesome. I don't have that, and
Yeah, I get it,
this
man.
is why I still don't have a Walter Payton rookie card. You
I
know,
get it. Yeah, like I said, I am really good at having tunnel vision. Uh, List, and then I'm and long story short, I have zero patience, so I'm knock it out as I can. As soon as it's done, it's like, okay, so that's done. Next up, I create another. Yeah, so I mean, like I've been slowing down, obviously, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, like you said, you have a like 100 card max. So if you add one, one's got to go, and you're at a good point now. Where you like all 100 of them. So yeah,
yeah,
you mentioned 90s inserts. That we're gonna touch on that in a little bit because
okay,
that's one of the questions we had from one of our viewers was inserts of the 90s, and I know you and I have some favorites, but I want to get to you first. We were talking earlier. Um, we've got 4 topics we're going to cover today, as you can see on the screen. The first one is cards with some room to grow. And with vintage and 90s stuff, I guess 90s could be vintage, it's pretty close. We don't really speculate much, right? It's not like modern where you speculate on, Mac Jones or Trey Lance, and, that doesn't work out too well, right? In vintage, things are pretty much, I shouldn't say things, players are pretty much, they were what they were, especially if they're deceased. You don't have to worry about any, allegations or anything like that, right? But there are some players who have some cards with some room to grow, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts on that.
yeah. Honestly, I think if you go 90s, you're talking our generation. Uh, You're talking about the Joe Montanas, Jerry Rice. Uh, you know, I think one aspect of the hobby that's kind of in a limbo is probably 2007, 8 to about 2016, 17. You're talking about your JJ Watts. You're talking about your who else? Talking Calvin Johnson. You're talking about some all-time greats who aren't still playing, but haven't hit that. Oh, I remember him, and he was awesome.
Right.
So I see room on those guys. I as time goes by, just like that next generation slowly ages and just reflects like those players are just like you know
So yeah, I would probably add like Miles Garrett to that list, right?
yeah, definitely, yeah. I would say probably Julio Jones.
Ooh, yeah,
uh
Mike Evans.
oh, you definitely probably Adrian Peterson. He's kind of getting a little bit of love, but not quite where it should be. I mean, awesome player. If we're going quarterbacks, obviously Roger. Well, Rogers, Brady is Brady, so he's a. But I think Rogers, Roethlisberger, maybe Rivers, maybe
Matt Stafford.
Stafford, and then like I said, running backs, Peterson, uh, Frank, or if we're talking defense, we're talking probably Aaron Donald, Richard Sherman, Willis. Uh, yeah, so
Bobby
those guys.
Wagner, right? Bobby Wagner's, I think,
Yeah,
about to break the career tackle record next year. So
yeah. So these,
he's all but in as a Hall of Famer. Those are good names because those are all probably Hall of Famers. They might not be first ballot, but all those guys are getting in at some point. I would assume, right?
yeah,
Rivers might be the only one that might take a while, especially if he keeps coming back every 4 years.
yeah. Got some stats.
He does.
Put up some good numbers. He just never had a solid team, so he worked with what he had. You know.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm
But
right there with you on. I think the card. It's not only players for me. There are also sets that I think have room to grow. There's a lot of, you think of the 94, 95 being like the tail end of junk wax. But if you look at pop reports of like 94 finest refractors for football, those populations are really low. Really, really low. They're lower than 93 finest baseball refractors. And we'll talk about that later when we talk about the guest question. But yeah, um, cards like that. We were talking about some earlier today that we'll throw out later too. There were just some really really cool sets in the mid to late '90s.
honestly, I think the 2012 Prism set. You've obviously got the silvers. You've also got the greens and reds, and I have some, and I would say up until recently, they were very cheap. I mean, short printed, very low pops, beautiful cards. So I would say the 2012 greens and reds. I mean, 2012 is when it all switched over. So I mean, technically, it's a iconic set, so to speak.
I
So
I think it'll grow to that. I think it'll
yeah,
grow
I
to
think
that. I think, you know, they just lost their license, right? Like a week ago.
yeah,
I mean, give it time. I think we'll look back and be like, man, Panini made some really cool sets, you know, and the pops are kind of low back in 2012, 13, 14.
yeah. Honestly, Prism as a whole, I liked it up until about 2016, 2017. When it started, I mean, when there was like 20 variations, it was overkill. But 2012, 2013, probably 2016. When is it where it switched over? It started in zebras and
The first zebra I remember was 2020, but there might have been some before that. I know 2020 is they had zebra, tiger, snakeskin. I mean,
yeah,
everything. I mean, I think now they have like elephant and all this other nonsense. Yeah, it's
yeah. So I think 2017 because, like I said, 2012. You had silver, green, red, and then I think up until 2017 you had blue, red, gold. I want to say that's. I think. I think.
you know what
So
it really reminds me of 2014 Tops baseball, 2014 Tops Chrome baseball. They had
yeah,
a refractor, a black refractor, and a gold, and that was it. And they were tough. But when you
yeah,
got one, you got something really good. Now it reminds me of you know, when you go to the casino and they got the roulette wheel and you've got all these combinations you can get to win a little bit of your money back or whatever. That's kind of what the inserts remind me of now. Like
yeah,
they hook you in to buy a $700 box of cards, and you keep getting all these hits thinking you got something, but they're you really didn't. They're just bleeding you dry like a roulette wheel, or not a roulette wheel, a slot machine. Well, I guess a roulette wheel too, but um, yeah, that's kind of what I see with that. But
yeah.
yeah, to your point, I think 2017 Prism football, everything was a refractor that year, right? There was like no
I believe,
base.
honestly, Prism, I know a whole bunch. I have San Francisco players, and I want to say 2016 when it's switched over, um, started having all kinds of variations. You know, orange, yellow.
Checkerboard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of them are cool, but it's just too much. Me personally, I know a lot of people like it, no problem. But just me personally, I mean, sparkle and all that. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, the
I own a few, not much from 20
yeah,
just from 2020. I don't own anything after that. And some of it is cool. Some of
yeah,
it's absurd, but you know, some of it's pretty cool. I mainly got like the really low pop stuff of Tua like 2 or 3 years after it came out because his prices hit rock bottom. I like the guy. I'm like, well, I'll just buy these for me. You know, I like them.
yeah.
So I've got like the what?
I mean, like he's out now, right?
He's in Atlanta.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually like that for him because Miami is a trash organization. So they've been trash for 40 years, man. I don't know, but anyway, the only stuff I have of his is like the really hard to get. I've got like a snake skin. There's like 8 or 9 of those in existence. I've got, his
wow.
contenders throwback auto, but
Okay.
yeah, other than that, like I think the only card that approaches that in terms of newness is the Derrick Henry rookie I just bought, and I think that's a 2016.
Yeah.
Everything else I have is pre 2010, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do need to get a JJ Watt. He's one of my favorites. Um, he's getting in the hall probably first ballot too. So, but yeah, you brought up a lot of good names. Um, so yeah, those are cards and sets with some room to grow, I think.
Yeah. I think.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's a good time to segue into some questions that our viewers had, and we're going to go to the next one, the next question, which is this one is coming from Jamie. Thanks for the comment, Jamie. We'll do the best we can with this one, but I think we know what's happening here. But Jamie's comment was covering the 1950 Bowman eBay auctions, 1950 Bowman football that have been ending lately. Lots of 9s and 8s going for really, really good prices for the seller. Thanks and keep up the great shows. So thank you, Jamie. So since he took the time to comment,
Yeah.
I took the time to look up some of these sales he's talking about. And to me, the one thing that sticks out, let me scroll down. Maybe I should do PSA 8 first, since that's what he was talking about. Okay, so yeah, we have some like really common names like Paul Burris, $259, Larry Craig, 1002, second year Bulldog Turner, and these are all in PSA 8 grades, $541. Knox Ramsey, $2,765. Buddy Young, $721. Jim White, $3,565. And the list goes on. I mean, there's a lot of these sales in here that are over $1,000 for, Pete Pihos isn't a common by any means. He's a Hall of Famer, but this is a second/third year card, and a PSA 9 went for over 2K. Jason, what are your thoughts on this?
Registry. um, if you are on the registry, if you are trying to get that number one spot, Hall of Famer isn't how you do it. It is the guys you've never heard of. It's the guys nobody ever grades, never do, and it's a high grade. Everybody spends. Um, Long term, not sure how that plays out value wise. I truly believe the the set the set aspect slow. I think younger generations are into the stars, Hall of Famers, really cool guys, so to speak. So long term, not sure how that plays out, but again, if you are on the registry, you have to do what you have to do. It's me personally, I think you're talking about 2 to 4 guys who are like the top three And every time one of those pops up, they're trying to compete, and it's pricey. It gets pricey. So yeah, that's that's what I think.
And I agree with you 100%. I think that's exactly what this is. Again, like you mentioned, there's a handful of people doing the 1950 Bowman set. Probably there's probably, I don't know, 10, 20 that are hardcore into it. And when you have pops that are 10 and 8 people want it, well, there's going to be a lot of competition and that price is going to swell. My concern with this whole part of it is nobody seems to, I shouldn't say nobody. Set building is kind of dead, right?
Is
So in 20 years, who's going to want those cards at those prices? It might still be a thing. I don't know. But I personally wouldn't be the one spending that kind of money for it. But I totally understand it. I say that all the time. It's not that I don't understand the set registry thing. I do. I'm competitive too. That's just another level above where I want to be. And that's cool. You do you. Now, if you're not hurting anybody, do what you got to do, man. That's where
yeah,
I'm at with it.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Everybody does it their own way.
Yep. So, Jamie, hopefully we answered that question. If not, make a comment on this video and we'll try to get a little more detailed to give you what you want. To our next question, and that comes from Matt Leach, who actually left us 2 questions/comments. The first one, I'll paraphrase it. Given the popularity for football, it's the most popular sport in America. Why don't collectors value vintage football anywhere near vintage baseball or even 90s basketball? And also, why is modern basketball valued to a premium to modern football? That one I couldn't tell you, but maybe you can. But anyway, I'll give you first crack at it. You know your 90s basketball really well.
Jordan. That's an easy answer. Jordan, Magic, some of the greatest players of all time played. I mean, Kobe. It's just 90s was a awesome time to watch basketball. You also had the Skybox. You had
Oh my gosh, yeah.
the PMGs. You have the most iconic cards. And it was just a great era. Football wise, you had some great players also, Joe Montana, Marino, but it wasn't the same. It's and I am a football guy, but not even close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jordan was on just another level. He was not only the greatest
He changed the
basketball
game.
player of all time, he was the greatest. He was our Babe Ruth, essentially.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, 100%. And it was also hip hop. It was basketball. It was just really cool.
It had a vibe.
It was. So 90s basketball is getting lots of love, and it is a awesome era in sports cards and also sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of the greatest rivalries in basketball were in the 90s, just
100%
in the 90s. Yep.
100%. I mean, shoot, the Dream Team. I mean, I could go on and on about 90s basketball. It's just.
I mean, living through that Dream Team year was, looking back on it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dude, we lived through like the greatest collection of basketball players ever assembled. Like to this day,
yes,
nothing
hands
comes
down
close to that.
Hands down, greatest team.
Yeah,
hands down. And then modern sports, I would have to say LeBron is a big thing. I mean, our generation, we watch him and he isn't Jordan, but
Not even
to
close.
this generation, he is Jordan. So I get it. So
I get that too.
uh
That's who they.
so
That's who they've seen.
exactly. So I think LeBron kind of carries it. I think also Kobe did also he retired in what 2018? 2018,
Something.
2017,
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
around
So
there.
kind of recent. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I mean, like I said, LeBron, Kobe, vintage football and baseball. Baseball. Ruth, Cobb, Lou Gehrig, all these players, even even people who don't know anything about sports know Ruth. Hands down. You know
No
what I mean?
question. Yep.
There are movies, there are documentaries, there is so much I mean content. Football has very little. You have really good iconic players, but you have zero hype. And also, sports cards wise, there isn't a lot. I mean, if you're trying to get a Ruth, you've got the Gaudies, you've got the Caramels, you have options there. If you're trying to get pre-war football, you have Sport Kings, Chickles, and a handful of strip cards. So they are very hard to get. And just like I said, it is hard to compare because, I mean, shoot, they had so much hype, you know? Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What do you think?
So when it comes to I'll start from modern and work my way back. I don't know a whole lot about the modern part of it. Like I mentioned earlier, I've got a handful of modern cards, and that's only because I like the player. It has nothing to do with anything else. Um, I think basketball is probably easier to, like, there's 12 guys on a team, right? Of those 12, 7 or 8 guys see the bulk of the minutes. It's an easier product to collect. I've seen people open football cards, and I watch football a lot, and they're pulling dudes I don't know. Like, who the, it's harder to collect that when you're collecting, there's,
Very true.
it's at a 52-man roster in football, right? So they probably make cards for, let's say it's half. That's still twice as many as a basketball. So whether I'm right or wrong on that, I could see that being a reason. Um,
Yeah, I think so.
and then vintage football versus vintage baseball. Listen, football in its infancy was a college game. They had some cards in the 1890s, college cards, Yale and Harvard, and then nothing except for, like you said, some strip cards or some. Red Grange had some Shotwells, which was candy, and then he had a Rogers Pete and a Champions, but there wasn't any major release until 1935. Sport Kings is a multi-sport set in 1933.
Yeah.
So it took until 1935 for pro football to have a set of their own cards. So baseball has over 35 years on football in terms of stuff that's out there. If you're a huge football fan and you want old football cards, there's not a lot to choose from, and that's probably a turnoff for some people. Like, maybe it's not, but I could see that as being like, there's nothing older than 1935. Well, no, sorry, there really isn't. But we've talked about this before. it's not going to take a huge spike in interest in vintage football cards to see that market go nuts. I think we've already seen the effects of that recently with the 33 Grange and Thorpe that have gone nuts, and it's kind of spilled into the 35 Chickle set. Baseball, man, like you already mentioned, Ruth, Gehrig, everybody, Honus Wagner is on the news. Everybody knows Honus Wagner because of that card.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, does everybody know that the 35 Chickle Bronco Nagurski is like the grail? No.
Most people probably don't even know who he is.
He wasn't even the best football player of that decade.
Oh, watch what you say.
It was Dutch Clark, man.
Watch what you say.
I am gonna die
I
on that
agree
hill.
though. Yeah, I agree. I think
but he was more
you
popular.
have to put Dutch.
Bronco was more
Yes.
popular, immensely more popular. He was extremely popular. So
Yeah.
there's that. He was a Chicago Bear too. That doesn't hurt. But anyway, that's a topic for another show.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think that's. I could probably throw some more stuff out there. But that, again, football was a college game in the teens and 20s. Seen as too violent. The pro game was seen as too violent until like the 50s, and it didn't really hit its stride till the 60s. So baseball had, the 35, 40 years of cards on them, plus that was America's pastime. Is it anymore? I don't think so, but I don't know. So yeah, that's my long-winded answer on that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he also asks, I love this one. We're going to have fun with this. What are your most underrated vintage football sets to collect? And same question for underrated insert sets from the 90s. His favorite from the 90s is the Gallery of Heroes from 1997. And his favorite vintage football set is from 1969, which I love that set too, man. Especially,
awesome set.
Especially the borderless ones, the Unitas and the Zonka. Those look just awesome. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, vintage. I think there is a high emphasis on the 1948 Leaf. Beautiful set, iconic players. But I think a set that's highly undervalued is the 1948 Bowman set. Most of those same players are in it. And I mean, shoot, those are also rookies, and it's low pops, and it's cheap. I mean, even Sammy Baugh rookie card is cheap.
Yeah.
I think that is highly undervalued. I think going into 1950s, I like the 1952 Bowman Large. Beautiful set. Iconic players. You still got the Sammy Baws and all those guys. I think going into the 60s, I like the 1962 Topps. Beautiful set. Beautiful. 1963 Fleer. And if I had to choose one more out of the 60s, 1965 Philadelphia. Yeah. And then 70s, I like probably 71. 71 or maybe 70. And that's about it. 70s weren't a really great era, I don't think.
No.
70, I mean, in 71, look pretty good, and then after that, it kind of drops off
Yeah,
for me.
the designs are pretty
Yeah.
buns in the 70s. What about
Yes.
90s inserts? What do you got?
90s inserts. I love the Flair row zeros.
Ooh, sneaky.
I love the Skybox autographics, clean autos, just beautiful cards.
Those are all on card too.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, um, okay. You said undervalued, so like
More
97.
underrated, overlooked, I think is where he's going.
Yeah, I would say the probably tops finest, the the embossed
Oh, those embossed refractors. Yeah.
refractors, the what else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, and also, and I don't know how to pronounce this. Stadium Club
Triumvirate?
Triumvirate. However you say that.
The triumvirates?
Beautiful die cuts.
Yeah.
Beautiful die cuts. Crazy looking cards. Yeah, so I would say those.
Yeah, you showed me the Brett Favre that you have, and the die
Yes.
cut on that is nuts, man.
Crazy.
Like how does that
Crazy.
even get like a,
Yeah.
a
How did
5
survive
grade?
How to survive out of the pack, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But it's like the epitome of 90s die cuts though. That they just pushed the
Yeah.
envelope. They just made some cool stuff. So I'll
Yes,
piggyback
sir.
off your 90s stuff. You took a couple of mine, so that's okay. I'm going to go pretty plain Jane, but 94 finest refractors. First year of
Yep.
refractors and
Classic.
football cards. Most pops are like, what, 200 maybe on most of them. Some of them a lot lower than that. What was the other one I was looking at today? Not triumvirate. Oh, the exclamation points.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
think Flair Ultra
Awesome,
made
sir.
those. Those are pretty cool. And then the 98
Yeah.
Atomic Refractor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are just,
Yeah.
if you can get your hands on an Atomic Refractor, those things are maybe the most gorgeous refractor ever.
Yeah, I agree.
And then underrated football sets. I'll do the same thing that you did. I'll go decade by decade. You took 48 Bowman, rightly so. I still think 48 Leaf has a lot of room, and there's just some really
Yeah,
iconic.
I think so too.
Yeah, there's some iconic cards and some iconic images. Just beware of high grades on those. There was a big trimming scandal in I think 2018, 2017, around in there. A lot of those were trimmed. So if they don't have chunky white borders, it's possible that they were trimmed if they're high grade. Just a word of warning. So yeah, 48 Leaf. I would say Chickle, but that's getting to be not so underrated anymore.
Yeah,
From
I don't think that's a secret anymore.
No,
Everybody knows about that one.
exactly. I love 52 Bowman Large, as do you. 50 or 51 Bowman, I love both of those. And one day I'll say it's 50 Bowman. The next day I'll say it's 51. 51 has the logos on it, which I love, but
Yeah,
the rookie power in that set isn't as big. 50 Bowman's got, Tittle and Graham, among others. The 60s, I love all the 60s Fleer, man. All of them.
yeah,
But
yeah. Awesome cards.
and I love 65 Tops Tall Boys. It's just
65 Tall Boys.
yeah, I do.
I forgot that set. Nice one. I love those too.
Yeah, I mean
Most people don't though, for some reason. I don't get it. I love them.
Because they're a little more difficult to store, but if you display them,
Oh yeah,
who
they're
cares?
awesome.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Oh yeah, I agree.
70s, man, that's tough. I mean,
70?
no, I that actually might be my least favorite set from the decade. I just don't know why.
Really?
I don't
Oh
know what
wow.
it is.
Okay.
I don't know what it is
Huh.
about that set that I don't like. Maybe that 74 has the stupid goalposts.
Yeah.
79s. My gosh, there were some really crappy sets in the 70s.
What about 72?
I mean,
Style by rookie.
I'd probably lean that way. 72, plus they got the high numbers,
Yeah.
which I've mentioned this in a previous videos I've done. Everybody talks about the 72 tops high number football being scarce.
Uh-huh.
That's like carryover from like 30 years ago when they were, and then there was this big horde of them that was discovered slash released. If you look at the pop report, there's hundreds of these. Not saying that's a lot, but it's not like there's only 20 of them. They're not hard to get. They really aren't. But anyway, I'd probably go 72, and here's
Okay.
why. 72 is really challenging because a lot of the cards are like diamond cut. The centering is terrible, and
Yeah.
that makes it really, really challenging to put nice copies in your collection. So I'd probably go 72.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Well, that was
Okay.
the last. That was the last question slash comment.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you think? Do you have any parting words, parting comments? Anybody
I
offer you
mean,
80% on anything lately?
no, I mean, I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. Um, um, Let me think. I did recently today. I picked up something, and it is 90s. So I'll probably show it next episode.
Nice.
But it's been kind of slow on my side. I haven't been really buying too much. But I will say this though, I am noticing prices are still going up. Like the Sammy balls are starting to creep up there.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
there was a nice PSA 3.5 that, so I think it was
how much?
Friday or Saturday, and it
Yeah,
sold for
700 something.
$695. Yeah, that's strong. Now it was a gorgeous copy.
Yeah, but I will tell you this too. I've been noticing the specifically Sammy balls. I see that the PSA ones are now listed for about 170 to $200.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that before, so I think it's slowly going up there. So
Listen,
I think over time it'll go up.
yeah, the Leaf Sammy Baugh, that image is, to me, one of the most iconic images in vintage football cards. To me, it's not at the 65
Yeah, I think
Namath
so too.
level, but I love it. I love
Oh
everything
yeah,
about that card, except finding them centered. Finding them with good registration is really hard, and that's why that one. Thinking back on it, I probably wouldn't have paid $695 for it, the one that sold
hmm.
this weekend, but I see why it did.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
it
oh
blew
yeah.
every
It
other
looked good.
comp out of the water, but it deserved it because it was a really, really nice copy.
I will also say this: and it's because I've been doing a lot of window shopping on 90s. Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice, and all these guys, a lot of their stuff is moving. Atomic refractors that I paid $90 for. I mean, some of the berries are going for like $700-800. I I'm really seeing a lot of like really awesome stuff moving up, and it's moving up quickly. So like I always say, if you have certain players, certain cards you are looking for, you might want to try to jump on them quick, especially if it's a Rice or Barry Sanders.
The
It's just,
yeah, the '90s goats, right?
it's, yeah.
Especially some of that stuff that was numbered. Uh,
Oh,
98,
yeah.
those 98 atomic refractors are numbered out of 100, but there's not 100 of those in slabs. Those are really, really tough. And there is
Oh, yeah.
a rabid following of those for collectors. Like people go nuts over those things. And but there's other ones too. So yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
anything that doesn't pop very often and you want it, sometimes you just kind of got to do what you got to do because you don't know A, when the next one will pop up, and B, what that next price is going to be. Could be lower. It's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing everything. You talked
Slowly
Barry
go up.
Sanders. You talked Barry Sanders, right? He's got
Yeah.
the '94 finest refractor. The last sale I think was 500. There's two that have listed in the last week, and the list price I think is $899. Buy it now. Like that might be where it's at now. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if you're really trying to get specific cards, you can try to use comps, but if it isn't a high volume card,
Yeah,
honestly, comps really don't even play into it because it seems like every time they pop up, they're breaking records every time. So, what is high now, next time it comes, is probably cheap. You know what I mean?
yeah, because
But
if something doesn't sell lick lick with liquidity, gosh,
you
and
sound
they
like I do now.
no, but if there's only like one sale a year or two sales a year or whatever, comps are kind of pointless because it's really going to be a matter of what the market says it's worth. If it's at an auction,
Yeah.
it's going to go for what somebody wants to pay for it. It's not going to go by like what the last five sales were, an average of that. It's going to go for whatever somebody's willing to pay, and
Yep. I agree.
that's what do they call that? The free market, right? That is what it is. It's worth what somebody will pay for
Yep. I agree. Yeah. So, just guys, if you have any questions or anything, just hit us up either here or on IG.
it. Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and kind of good luck out there, guys, because it's a battlefield every time we're trying to buy cards.
Yeah, I had a
It's
pretty rough week last week, just getting throttled on
yeah,
eBay.
it's
Just take it from somebody who just went through it. Comps are kind of BS sometimes.
yeah, it's kind of getting to the point that you have to say like, how bad do I really want this card? It's cool, but do I love it? Because if I don't, I don't think I'm gonna pay what it's
And
gonna go for.
and really,
Yeah,
I went through that yesterday. Like I think
yeah,
it's cool, but it's not that cool, and I moved on.
yeah,
I'm at peace with it, and
yeah,
I'll spend that money on something else. It's all good.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah. So,
All
all
right,
right, you
Jason,
guys.
thanks for the talk. And we'll be back next week. Send us some ideas for topics and we will cover them as good as we can. All right.
Yep.
All right,
All right,
Jason,
guys.
take care. Take care, everybody. See ya.